Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trading. All our videos are for educational purpose only. We strongly advise you to stay on a sim if you want to follow our signal automated trade. We're not responsible for your trade. This is not a trading room. This is only an educational room. Today, we just had an entry on the ES 495.50, target 35.0725. We are right on the target. And then we have the NASDAQ. The market analyzer on the ES on the left upper corner is 42 ticks into the profit based on the last entry signal. The NASDAQ is 03625 as an entry, target 09425. 173 ticks into the profit based on one contract is 865, two contract 1800. On the YM, if we look at the market analyzer, we have an entry at 135, target 223. On the YM, we nailed 84 ticks, 425 for one contract, and it's right here, one contract. So the market analyzer is based on one contract only, and you can use on the automated to trade as many as you want, I guess, and nobody is stopping you. It depends on the money you have, but do not over-merge yourself, please. On the right upper corner, we have the scalper. Marx's yesterday, it was a beautiful day. The NASDAQ on the scalper on one trade nailed over 6,000. So today, we are $2,700 on the scalper. And as you see, 277 ticks into the profit. The thing is with the scalper, our scalper anyway, scalp the market, but if the market is trending, then it switch by itself to swing trading. As we see on the scalping, practically we are doing just as good as the swing trading. So the CL just took a trade, and there is a double resistance here, so maybe there is a little pullback on the CL, and then the NASDAQ there is no problem with the NASDAQ. It's gonna keep trying. I extend the target on it, but most likely on the scalping NASDAQ, it will be 121.0450 right in line, which I expanded the target too much, just letting it run, and then I'm gonna take it a little bit down, so we will manage when we come to the double resistance on the 10450 on the double resistance on the NASDAQ. For the YM, I'm gonna leave it around that area because you have a double resistance here, so we're gonna take him a little bit down. The white charts are the scalper, and the ES already hit the target on the scalper. He already hit the target hit. It was beautiful, it was over 65 ticks, and it hit right on the target. And now if we have a pullback on the ES, it will be landing around 350.125 as a re-entry point. So the ES right on target, it was a little over 65 ticks per one contract, and now we are doing fine on the scalper, and we are doing okay on the swing trading as well. The blue chart are connected to the market analyzer on the left upper corner. The white charts is belong to the scalper. Also, we would like to show some other different auto trade. This is a total different algorithm where has nothing to do with the signal. Is a totally different type of an auto trade, and also we did very well on the DAX this morning, and we are. This is the only 3 charts I have open right now. The gold, and let's go step a little bit out of the ES Nasdaq Dow Jones. So those are a little bit different. Here is the YM closed, and now we have X as well, and now we have a new short trade on the CL, and now it seems like the market start turning around, and we will want to keep my eye on the DAX trade. Take a little bit out of those here, and the gold. The rest of the DAX did very well today. I mean, they did okay, and now they all hit the target a little above 1,000. We will show that later on, and we need to really keep our eye on the market. The CL new signal. Just fire the signal. You can see the signal on the market analyzer on the first column here. And then what I will do, I'll go ahead and break even and let it be as is. The YM fired the short trade, and the Nasdaq, the ES fired the short trade on the scalper. As you see here, there's a new signal come out for a short trade on the ES. And look, this is when the market is in between. The best way is to do it to break even immediately and keep your eye on it. You can use your own ATM strategy on it. There is a 3 type of an auto trade. You can use fully automated ATM or an ATM strategy, but it will be nice. It looked like this trade is about to close. On the pill have 2 contracts in here, so 621.47 and an 828. So we are okay. So we already hit the target for today. It is $1,000 on that target. So this is okay. On the gold, we already got 1,500, hit the daily target on the first 2 contract, and now we are 39.9, and then we have 1,000 out and 1,500 in. So that will be a little bit over 2,000, not much short at the moment. For the ones has been following us for quite time, they can see that we have covered that when the market pulled back, the chart plot a number for your entry. As long as this market is above those numbers, there is no short. And this is the same story here. Now we are, it seems like on the Nasdaq, we're going to climb to the 2150.25, and there is nothing holding the Nasdaq at the moment. On the DAX, we are still 2 trades. And on the gold, we are about, you can see here the left bottom on the first 2 trades, and now we are climbing to the 9399. So this is really amazing. Okay, the market is extremely strong, and we will cover more. It's a little bit busy schedule today here, and let's see. On the 1,000, I'm not gonna touch it. Let's see how we are going to do on those. This is very interesting. I want to see where we are in the market first. Just want to keep my eye also in the same time on those two charts. We start looking at the ES, trying to see what we can do with the ES. Just waiting on the gold to be done. And there is nothing holding there is nothing holding the ES. If we have a drop, you can see there is a sellers trying to push the market down. When it blinks, that means there is some sell orders has already put in. So we are talking about if the market is gonna drop, we are about 3,500 on the pullback re-entry. There is no short, guys. There is keep thinking long today. And if the market drop, don't let this ATR, your MACDs, fool you. Those, they just follow the market. They're not predicting anything in this future trading. You trade in the future. You're not trading the past. So by the time this drop, you start gonna have on those out-of-dated indicators that now the market is pointing down is a very far from the truth. It is a pullback and a re-entry at 3,500. This is the biggest mistake. 90% of traders make mistake relying on indicators. They're not relying on a fibs. And this is the biggest mistake. 90% of the guys lose money in the market because they don't understand. There we go. We are already hit the third target on the gold, the white chart, and we still have one more trade. Now we are on the gold. 2,300, and we still have one out, 820, so that will be good on this one here. After that, we're gonna cover the new auto trade we have not released yet, and we will cover that the minute we are very much occupied here with a lot of charts open. So I'm gonna keep my eye on those, and then we cover the new auto trade, the scalper, and we will start looking at some other charts. It is very important to close this gold first. The Nasdaq is doing fine. On the white chart, the Nasdaq has crossed 3,000 based on 2 contracts. This is very good. Excellent. We are just one. I mean, we are about to close the gold chart. Again, guys, this is in minutes. Beautiful. And for the ES trader, you gotta make sure that 35.12.25, there is a little heavy resistance in here. So it seems like we have a problem with internet. think I have some technical problem. I'm not sure. Ben, can you see my screen, please? Okay, is the sound okay? Okay, thank you, Ben. So we are done with the gold, and it did very well on the gold. So we are done with that one. Thank you, Ben. And what else we have? We still have the DAX. We're still on that trade with the Russell. And we still have one CL. Okay, it's enough here on the chart. We are on the ES. We're going straight to this level 35.21 and it's finished. 35.21, folks. NASDAQ, I think we're going to have a problem with the NASDAQ. We are right in line on 2078.75. And it's very important on the NASDAQ not to go below the 2063.25. If we do, that means the party is over to the long trend. And I'm going to leave the YM as is. For the scalping is okay. It's one trade 600. Two trade here is 1250 on the scalper and 460 on the CL. The DAX, the Russell and the DAX, they are doing okay. We're about to close the first target on the DAX. On the previous trade was 395 and now, and it closed immediately on the pullback is a bit tight. This one here on the Russell and the DAX. For some reason, guys, this year, I mean, now we're about done with this year. But for some reason, like the year before, it was the 1 minute, the 3 minutes, the DAX was perfect. This year, for some reason, we have the 4 minutes is a very stable time frame. So what I'm trying to say, sometimes the instruments works better on a different time frame. And it is all connected is when you are below 10 days moving average, above 10-day moving average, 3 days moving average, 200 days moving average. It changed the whole attitude on that instrument, whatever that is you are trading. So you gotta really be careful with the time frame. I mean, they are very important, the time frame. Could be what it worked last year on the 3 minutes does not mean it's going to stay 3 minutes next year. Probably it's going to be 4 minutes. It's the same auto trade, the same stop loss, but then the market movement, it fits better with your auto trade. But you cannot use practically one time frame for the rest of your life, not unless if you know how to tweak an auto trade, but and keep maintaining that auto trade, tweaking constantly. Yes, you can do that. But if you are a guy with a limited knowledge, you gotta check up every week. What is the best time frame? I'm not asking you to tweak an auto trade, but to keep your eye on the time frame, and it's not unlimited time frame. It is like the others. One day they use range bar, and one day they use Renko, one day they lose line break, and one day, this is wishy-washy time frame. What we are doing, as you see, everything here is based on minute. Okay, guys, the ES is finished. The party on the ES is finished, and the Nasdaq now is slamming to the 06344. Look at this. The ES came in. That's exactly, if you go back to the video, that's exactly what we said, the limitation. And then we fired reversal. Those reversal are not a repaint reversal. You have a resistance, a reversal. Where we are going with this, we are going only to the 512.75. So for a guy who want to take a profit, this is a good place to take a profit. And then rearm yourself at 35.12.75 long re-entry. Limited order. Never go market order. You always let the market come to you. You put your limited order where you're supposed to have it. It seems like we're going to close one of the trades on the Russell. We have 3 contracts left, and we are about to close one of them. And we still have 2 contracts on the DAX. We are gonna, it seems like it's not gonna go that far, but this one here have a good trailing stop. You gotta leave a little gap going back and forth. You cannot make it too close to it. So on the DAX, this is enough space for me in the afternoon from the European session, because you always have to think about the DAX is in the afternoon when you are coming in the morning. It's not a morning trade, it's in the afternoon trade. So let's see if the Russell, well, the DAX is strong. It looked like we're going to climb to the 616. If there's any drop on the the blue chart on the ES, we are coming back to the 35.1308. And this is a re-entry. There is no short at that level, 35.1308. On the sim, we're not responsible for your trade. Okay, and then actually we have one. We have 1 CL. Okay, the Nasdaq is finished. If we are going below those numbers, most likely we are done. There we go. We're going to take the first one out. And we're going to bring down the CL. The ES going the other direction. The ES is coming to, it's very important for that ES to stay. Have a new signal short on the Nasdaq. as you see it here. But this one here, the short on the NASDAQ, please do not follow that one. It's not going to work. Please do not follow that signal on the NASDAQ. Why you should not follow that signal is a very, and there we go, I immediately want to tie it up. Why? This is a mistake trader will do. Technically, you cannot take a short trade on the NASDAQ right now. The Autotrade fired that trade because of the ES. The ES has not turned around to the short side, has not. So on the ES, we still on the pullback re-entry long, and we cannot take the short NASDAQ if we don't have the ES. I want to show you this one here is still under a test on the. This one we have not released it. Last time we were on the webinar, last time when we were on a webinar here on a YouTube, nailed across the 10,000. Today, if we look at the ES has not taken any 825. The CL did very well. The NASDAQ has been flat between short and long, positive, negative all day long. And the YM has been flat as well. And this is the new Autotrade. We are testing it right now on Sim. And today, if you on the ES is always a stability on the ES. But today the NASDAQ and the YM, they were in and out of the red constantly. So that's why I said don't take that NASDAQ because of the ES. If you go back to the video, we said this is where the drop down on the ES level. And then once we drop here, and I said your ATR and your MACD is going to point into the short side, and which there is no short, there is a pullback re-entry. And this is exactly what we are talking about. Here is the key on the ES. As long as we are above the 35.0775, we are on the positive mood. If this market, like the NASDAQ, broke down this number, now is no longer, we are interested in that trades on the NASDAQ. You always can pick up 5 and 10 ticks, but you're not going to be catching a good trend on this NASDAQ at the moment. You cannot catch a good trend on the NASDAQ. For the signal on the ES, when it fires short on the scalper, we are already 13 ticks, and look at this, is really struggling because of the 1 minute. So we are not sure it's going to continue dropping. So break even plus scalping. Look where the ES came in at 35.0925. It's very important to stay above that line. If we break that line, that means there is no more long trade. It's finished. Again, if we go below that number and we close the ES, there is no more trade. It's finished for the long trade. So be careful with that. But, this is the beauty. If you have a double account or 3 accounts, you can use the one account on the swing trading, and you can use the second account on a scalping. And when you are closing one chart on the swing trading, the scalper, as you see here, the white chart is already in the trade. So you are more comfortable. The more money you have in the market, the more comfortable you are. The more you hedge the market, you are much more comfortable than to be riding one horse. This is an example for today. This is the same Autotrade last time when we were here across the $10,000 before 12 o'clock. Let's say today, with our luck, we are taking one contract each, okay? And because this one here is based on one contract. The market analyzer and the Autotrade, the scalping is based on one contract. And it is and it is shutting down the trades with no. I'm using a really tight and shutting down the trades immediately when it's not going to the. If we are on a one contract, probably if you want to be comfortable, you take the gold out. I'm not a happy camper with a YM trading either. I never liked YM trading. But there is some people love YM. It's fine. But I mean, it's not my piece of cake, YM. If I want to go to that level, I prefer to go to the NASDAQ CL ES. So now the CL closed trade. We're going to take it away. And so if you have, let's say, 4,000 or 5,000, and after you do your homework and you do your training how to manage an auto trade, you don't just take it out of the box and put it on a live trade and you don't know what you're doing. But if we want to concentrate on only ESCL NASDAQ as an example, sometimes you will have, like today, the NASDAQ on the scalper didn't really, still early, but didn't do very well. And let's say the CL did not make it 2,300. Let's say the CL made 500. Okay. And then let's say the ES did not make 800. Today the ES made 500. So if we can make 500 on the ES, 500 on the CL, that's 1,000. And we are down 300 on the NASDAQ. You still can walk away with 700. You know, let's take one more $100 for slippage and commission. You know, you still can walk away. It will be much better for this guy is using the same auto trade and he don't know, he don't have enough money. He cannot make up his mind if he wanted to auto. If he traded the ES today, it's going to lose 500 and tomorrow he's going to go on the NASDAQ and then the second day the ES making 1,000 and the NASDAQ lose 500. And we know, you know, with our luck sometimes. So what I'm trying to say is when you are hedging the market, if you take one contract, because this is based on one contract, as you see from the auto trade, is based on one contract and a very tight stop loss and a break even. So if we are running 3 horses in the race, ES, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones, and one of them pass out from eating burgers on the way, we still have 2 horses running, you know. So this is the way you cannot just sit down and pinpoint what happened to one market. Then you are looking at the bigger picture, and then you start looking at the charts, where is most likely this market is going to get in trouble with. Like here, I know I'm not in trouble as long as this ES, which we have said that from the first minute we came into this webinar, that this is the re-entry point. And now I'm not interested in the NASDAQ anymore. Not at all. Because now, if we look at the market analyzer, the ES buy, the NASDAQ sell, and the YM is short. This is one big drunk driver going down the hill with no steering wheel. So right now the market is off. It's finished. When the ES goes left, and the NASDAQ go right, and the YM keeps switching between those two, that means you are diving into disaster trading. And when you see the NASDAQ is going south and the ES going north, there is something wrong in the picture. One of them is wrong. You know, you cannot have the NASDAQ down and the ES up and the YM going flip-flop, and then you have the 30-year Treasury bond going in the same direction as the ES. When the 30-year Treasury bond going on the same direction with the ES, that means there is one of them is wrong. You know, should not meet and kiss. And so if we look at the 30-year Treasury bond, it is on the other direction and the ES is on the other. So what is the wrong in this picture is the NASDAQ. And it's no longer I'm interested in the NASDAQ until we find the right direction between the ES, NASDAQ, and a YM. Because the ES is the one is given the oxygen for the market. You don't look at the ES. I don't care if you are auto trading, manual trading, banana trading. If you don't look at fibs, you don't look at ES chart, you will never, and never make it in this market. I don't care what Autotrade, Houdini Autotrade, I don't care what you do. There is no shortcut in this market. You cannot come in with an ATR Autotrade and you're going to whack the market with your couple $1,000. You are one big dreamer. So fibs, it is your bread and your butter. And then your ES, it is the best signal in the house to tell you which direction this market is going. As long as you refuse those two elements, you will never make it. Not today, not tomorrow. Trader platform, I don't care what Autotrade this guy promised you, you're not going to make it anywhere. You're going to go around the circle, losing money, and then and we're going to blame the weather, we're going to blame Ninja Trader platform, we're going to blame a guy from Italy in England, Vito. We can blame everyone, the wife, the kids, but the only one you need to blame yourself. Anyone, I will not, after 28 years, I will not look at any market if I don't know what is my limitation in the market. I will not invest $1 in this business. I will not even touch any chart. I will not go even on a micro account if I don't know where is my levels on the ES. This is the first priority, number one. When I wanted to trade in ES, I want to know where I'm going and where I'm stopping and where is my target. You don't just go to the airport and you take the first flight out of the airport and you don't know your destination. You know, and the same thing in the trade, and I don't care what everybody said. You know, maybe I'm not a very popular guy, but I say it the way it is. You know, you do not take a trade and hope and go into your direction, whether you are auto trading and manual trading. If you don't understand your levels in the market, that means you have no ground. You're just shooting in the air, empty bullets. There is nothing in there. And a matter of time before you hit the wall, and you start crying and trying to find somebody to blame for your mistakes. If we look at the ES, we've been for the last 10 minutes, we have said that from the beginning of this webinar today, if the market pull back, this is the only direction it is going to hold. And if this market, and look, it has been holding for the last 10, 15 minutes. This is not an accident, gentlemen. You can go back to 3 years video on the YouTube. It's the same story every single day. So this is not a just accident happening today that is holding that number. Go back to all the videos. It's the same story, the same CD every day, the same song every morning. So as we know, this is the technical area. So you imagine yourself, you are auto trading and you have no clue where you're going with the NASDAQ. You have no, and what really freaks me out, and the guy have couple thousand. I have the email, you know, and the guy have couple thousand. He wants 5,000 this week, 10,000 next week, 20,000, 30,000. I love to know what this guy is drinking. And at the beginning, at the email, Sam, I've been trading for 2 months, you know. So, a nightmare, you know. He's been trading for 2 months, and he's not asking much in the market, you know. So, that it is not the reality in the trading. Now, if we look here, when the market is very obvious, the market is telling you a story here. It's not a big deal. It's very obvious. When the market hit the target, it has been confirmed by the target, and the resistance line is telling you it's done. And we said that. Go back to the video. Then the market fired the reversal signal, and it's telling you it's dropping. There is a trend exhaustion here. And we said from the beginning the market should not go below the 3509, and it did not. Then the market started getting up, and then another signal fired. This one has nothing to do with this signal here on the market analyzer. It's telling you, hey buddy, snap out of it. The market is finished. To the long side. So this is where you cannot dismiss what it is telling you and just expecting turn on an auto trade, and then you're gonna live happily after. Believe me or not, if this the case, you would not hear my voice long time ago. So now we are on the pullback re-entry, as we said. And now the market, it is really getting a problem on the ES, because on the ES now we have confirmed that re-entry point. And now we are facing the projection where it says short at 35.1675. So where is this market got stuck now in between? It is stuck between 3509 and 35.1675, and there is a fib in between. On top of that, when it goes wrong, it really goes wrong. And this is the resistance, this is the support, and in between there is one fib. It cannot get any better for any guy to get confused. It cannot get any better for a guy go live, whether it's auto trading or manual trading, and lose money. And guess what? When things like this happen, and if you're not in a position, this is different here, because you are already in a position. You don't care. You already secured profit. But if you want to initiate a trade right now, you don't need to call me. All what you need, take a quarter out of your pocket and flip it. You don't need an indicator for that. Because this one here right now, if you are taking a trade here, your risk is much more than catching the trend when the market was going to at the beginning of the trend, catching the trend. Your risk is much lower. We have one guy asking, I didn't even answer him, what is the risk reward on a trade? I mean, that guy, he just cut off what is called chop market, cut off what is a trend. He wants to know what is the risk reward on every trade. Well, next time we bring Houdini with us to know on every trade how much is going to be. The risk, the reward on every trade depends on the market movement and where you're going to enter the market. If you are having the auto trade like what we have here on the NASDAQ, I caught a bad signal. I caught a bad signal at the beginning of the signal. If we look and go back to the video, I said do not take that trade because it's a bad signal. If we look at this NASDAQ, I closed it immediately, took that signal away, and until now, this NASDAQ is still flat for the last 15 minutes. And now finally the market start giving in a little bit, but it was in a red for 5-10 minutes, and I'm not interested in those trades. So this trade here on the NASDAQ, there is no risk reward. There is a high risk trade and a lower risk trade, depends on where you are on the day, what time you are taking the trade, and how the market is moving. Then each trade have a risk reward. You cannot say all of them is 5%. You cannot say all of them are 95%. Every trade have a different risk reward. On the ES right now, your risk is very high to take any kind of trade on the ES, whether you are auto trading or you are hand trading, doesn't matter. Now you are at the high risk of the trade. Once this market in the morning when you came in, it was a lot of doors open with a very low risk and a very high reward. Right now this market is coming to the end here, and now we are on a much higher risk. So not every trade is 5%. Not every day you're going to be earning 3% or 5% or 10%. Because I don't know where they coming from this. I've been hearing it for many years. If you make only 3-5% a day, you're going to be millionaire. Only if you make 5%. Well, sometimes the whole market don't move 5%. Sometimes the market move 3%. And that means you have to win all of it and not even one losing trade. So does not exist this way. Only if I make 5%. Well, before you only make 5%, learn how the market moves before you start saying, how many fish I can catch today. Nobody knows. Nobody knows tomorrow whether you walk away with $1,000 or you're going to walk away with a banana. No one knows. I don't know. The only thing I know, I limit myself to 3 trades. This is the way you need to do it. If I lose those 3 trades, I'm stopping for today. This means either I'm screwing up with the trades, I'm not reading it right, I should not be trading, or the market is not good and I should stop it and go the second day and trade. Every single trader is not knowing or don't know what he's doing. He should limit himself to 3 trades a day, no more, so he will not blow his account. And then if those 3 trades couldn't make money, let it be a lesson to you and you come back tomorrow. So in the morning, you don't say, Sam, how much you think I'm going to make? I don't know how much you're going to make, but I know how much you're going to lose. If you limit yourself to 3 trades a day, 10 ticks a stop loss, 15 ticks a stop loss, 1 ES, you know how much you're going to be losing today, and whatever this market is willing to give us, that will be great. This is the management you need to start from. You don't sit down and click on a chart day and night and you don't know what you're doing. This is the biggest mistake when you are over trading, not knowing or not having knowledge how the market move, and you want to go live. You should not go live. We have people though to load a chart on NinjaTrader and they want to go live. I refuse to give him support and put him on live. I said find somebody else. I have one customer, you give him a link, he cannot even figure out how to, and he want to go live last week and I refused to support him with a live. I said, and he got mad at me. And I will not let him go live because the guy still don't know how to close position on NinjaTrader and he want to go live. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to help him. Let him stay mid. I'm not his mother. For a guy is not qualified to go live, you should not go live. If you don't know what's going on, you should never go live. You should be on a sim until you know what's going on in this market. Someone sending me an email, how much every trade I can take out of it. Now, if you take a trade, your risk is much higher than your reward here. Your risk is 10 times higher than your reward. And another condition, when the market break out that area, coming back, confirm that support area, now your high risk trades is gone and now you lower your risk in the trade. There is some areas where the market, as we take here on the NASDAQ, if you go into this area trying to trade, your percentage is 1% to make money. 1%. If you're going to dive in this area here on the NASDAQ and take a trade, 9 out of 10 you will have a losing trade. If you wait till this market space out a little bit above that area or below that area, your risk could drop to 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. So it's not the system, the risk reward, it is the trader, how risky he is, and when he's diving into big pile of mud, he better know he is in a big pile of mud and he's trading in the wrong place right now. And again, guys, there is no way out of it. No way out of it. You can brush me off. You can say, no, this is not true. You can, whatever you want to say. You try it and come back and see me after 6 months when you lose all your money. So right now, the NASDAQ is not a good place right now to trade NASDAQ. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose a lot. Here, a biggest proof. When this NASDAQ, this is the same auto trade. Last time we were here, crossed the $10,000 here on live, on webinar. Now, if you want to look at this picture from when we first came into this video, at 10, okay? The NASDAQ was, I don't remember, maybe something around $100, $150 down, okay? And the YM was $75 down. Now, and the ES, if you go back to the video, was around $800 level. Go back to the video, you can read the numbers. Look at this. Now the ES crossed 1100. The YM from down $75 to $220. NASDAQ is in red now, up to 635. So this is a special message to this guy, brush me off and say, this is not my problem, I auto trade. It is your problem. As long as you are using your money, it is your problem, because the NASDAQ is not tradable and your auto trade is not gonna give you performance. It's not the auto trade, because auto trade is mechanical trading. As we see from that template, the $800 on the ES went over 1100. The down 75 on the YM now is 220. The gold is climbing on the $150, and the only one is in the hole is the NASDAQ. Why? Because it is a wrong time and a wrong place to trade NASDAQ. And we have said that half an hour ago. When the signal came in on the NASDAQ, I said nobody takes that trade. It's a wrong trade. And the only time this NASDAQ is tradable when it is in sequence with the ES and YM. And right now, if we see for the last half an hour on the ES, that's what we have said, what is the support area and what is the resistance area. And you have to read those. So don't say because you're not you're auto trading, this is not your problem. It is your problem because the NASDAQ right now on a high risk, and there is a good potential to lose even another $600. If you don't understand the market movement and you're auto trading, I don't care which auto trade. Yes, there's a lot of promising auto trades out there. Try it. You know, buy food for your house before you try it. If you don't understand the danger on it, it will not be only 635. It can go down all the way to $2,000 down in your account if you don't understand what's going on in the market. So hoping to recover the 635 by keep trading the NASDAQ and not aware it's not tradable. It is the trader's problem, not the auto trade. This is exactly how we explain it on the ES. This is exactly how it stayed on the ES. And nothing is going to happen to the market until this ES find a direction above that level or below that level. As long as the ES going back and forth in here, there is nothing in there. You just go ahead and take your finger up in the air and see how the wind is blowing. There is nothing in there. And that's mean I'm not interested in looking at these trades anymore on the NASDAQ. It's finished. This is very simple, guys. You know, so on the auto trades, we don't have any more trades open. They're all closed. They're all rich. Some of them did not make it yet. We have the NASDAQ 5 minutes didn't make it. On the they're all the same template here. 1 minute, two minutes, and we are taking the 5 minutes. None of them make it except the 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's it. There is nothing, and now they are losing money. On the NASDAQ, there is no trade. One thing you can do when you are auto trading, you can go ahead and if you see the market is not going anywhere, let me try to find something else, show you. If the market not going anywhere, you see here there is a pause button. You can pause it. You close trades and you pause it. So it will not take any more trade. That you can do. That you have to do. Not when you have an opening position. You close those position. Close position. Well, it hit the target. Let's say you didn't hit the target. You pause it. And now the auto trade is not going to take a trade. You can hold that auto trade for 5-10 minutes. And then when you see this market start moving again, you resume. This is where two traders can auto trade the same template, the same chart, and they will have two different results. One guy know what he's doing, one guy don't know what he's doing. Again, even if you are auto trading, if the market not doing good, you're gonna go in a hole, and this is what it is. Right now we crossed the 3,300. Now the gold is making money, the YM is making money, is all based on one contract. The EI is making money, the Nasdaq is losing money. Continue within 5 minutes. Thank you. Okay, guys, there is not much to do. It's 12 o'clock right now. On the scalper, we are testing this new auto trade. We are testing based on one contract. We nailed 1,150 based on one contract. On the CL, 2,400. On the NASDAQ, we didn't make it today. Welcome to trading. We didn't make it on the NASDAQ with this new auto trade. On the scalping, on the gold, 670. And the YM, as you see from the video today, it was plus minus 100, plus 100 minus. So for 12 o'clock, we nailed based on one contract 34.90, so it's around 3,500. We still have one in the trade, so that's around 3,500. The way the market conditions sometimes, that's what we get. That's what we. It's a very friendly use. You don't need that much to do to it. You just practically turn on, turn off, and it is a scalping. It's not swing trading, but it's been very consistent, especially on the ES. Very consistent, and I'm happy with the results. So we are doing one more things on the auto trade. This only after a very 1100, we're done with the DAX. And the CI, as we said, there is nothing to do, and most of the scalpers, they are taking small trades from the market analyzer on the right corner. They are all of them taking small trades. It's not even worth it to talk about. So now it's 12 o'clock. We say